And now stand by for adventure.
3, 2, 1.
What is going on, everybody? Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
How you
morning,
doing today,
everybody.
Big Apple?
What's up, everybody? How you doing? How you doing? Everyone that is here. And I know it's coffee time, but it is so hot to even drink coffee.
Drink iced coffee.
Yeah, iced coffee. Actually, iced coffee is pretty good to be drinking. But I'll tell you one thing. I think if you drink something hot, it actually cools you down, by the way. Did you guys know that? Or is that a Big Apple theory?
I think that might be a Big Apple theory.
Listen, I could have sworn. I thought it was. Hey, I thought it was maybe some.
Old Spice Total Body. It fights stank 24/7.
Maybe it was my. I thought it was. I thought it was something. If you fight the heat with heat, you win, right? So
I think you
I
don't
don't know.
notice it as much. If you raise your internal temperature, you don't worry. You don't feel the external as much. But I don't care. Nothing beats
That is
the heat like
yeah.
an ice cold beer. Or,
I know. Or maybe just a pool. Just maybe a nice in-ground pool like you got over there.
yeah, I was using it last night.
Were you?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well,
But the pool water's like bath water right now because the heat out here and the solar radiation warming it up. But it's still good.
yeah.
It feels good when you come out of it and come into that ice cold AC in the house.
Yeah. George Campbell, good morning. We got Barry in the house.
Barry.
William in the house. What is going on? Jerry Parker's in the house. Yeah, any cold shower will definitely, put some hot rag. I don't know. I ain't gonna say that. It's too early in the morning for that. But yeah. I mean, let me tell you, when it is this hot, and behind me, I'll tell you, in my, because I own a condo, so I have a unit here, and in my corner unit, I get the sun all day. All day, I get the sun. I'm telling you, I can't even imagine the amount of sun that I get in this unit. I literally had to tint the entire windows all around this place.
Wow.
And these windows, as you see, they're 97 across all around. The master bathroom, everywhere is like nice. It's like, it's unbelievable. So I actually tint them with the lowest tint as possible. So it's the best. It's the best way to do it.
Yeah, it cuts down on that heat.
Oh, it does. I'm going to tell you, it really does. So, but besides the heat and everything else, it's currency time now.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the biggest thing. So, I hope everybody out there is staying cool. If you are drinking something iced coffee, hot coffee, or whatever your pleasure is, let's go. But good morning to every single person that is here. And today we are going to be talking about what? What are we talking about today?
Today, I'm going to be mainly talking about, you're going to be helping a little bit, but
Yeah.
I've got some Cuban banknotes that I want to go over.
Yeah. So it's like, I got to help this out because when he talks about these Cuban and these other obsolete notes, Big Apple becomes like a student, like a stewardess, or like for the airplane, the stewardess, or just the person, the student, really, if you really come to think about it. So yes, I will be asking questions and the whole 9 yards, but some of it I do kind of know. But when we get into world notes, that is one thing that it's actually different, right? When it comes to world notes, the denomination is almost the same, correct? Or no?
It depends on the country.
Right.
Your increments could be pretty comparable.
Right.
But some countries have some weird increments.
Right.
Now, most of the notes, most of them, except for like one that I'm covering today, were printed for Cuba by the American Banknote Company. So,
now, are we able to show anything from Cuba, or are we going to get banned?
Now, these are all pre-Castro.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if they're, yeah, the FBI knocking down my door.
It's the last thing I want anybody knocking on my door right now. Talking about knocking your door, knocking my door too.
You'd have to worry about them Cuban cigars you got.
Yeah, I mean, I got to stack that shit away right away. So, but yeah, for sure, guys.
Those Cuban cigars and I don't know what the fine is up to nowadays, but it used to be like $50 a cigar, and they would destroy them right there in front of you.
Yeah,
they fine your ass, and then they destroy the cigars right in front of you to add insult to injury.
Oh, here's the money you spent. We're gonna just dump it for you. Yeah, that's kind of harsh, So,
but not that I haven't had anything that a friend of mine allegedly smuggled back from Bahrain, or that I allegedly brought back from Bahrain. But yeah, so
you're not going there anytime soon just to bring some cigars back.
No, that's a little bit of a trek out to the desert.
Just maybe kind of just thought it was a thought process. Maybe I don't know. We dropped this slide because this slide is too much on me. So yeah. So let's get started. I mean, let's get what else is new? Anything else happening soon, or?
Yes. So I was going to say that. So due to my work schedule, I figured out when I could get a Friday off. It's September 6th, and come September 6th, I'll have my 1,000 subscriber giveaway. So look forward to that. I'm still working on what time we'll have it and some more details. I got some foreign currency I'm going to be giving away, some obsolete currency, some Confederate currency, all around good stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, Rob is actually becoming monetized. So he's over 1,000 subscribers right now, as it looks. And if you haven't subscribed, the people that are in the chat, obviously just subscribe. If later on, if someone else is looking at this, you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and definitely hit that like. So actually, Rob, you're going to probably go up one subscriber because I'm going to subscribe to you right now. And I'm going to hit that like button for you. So yeah, yeah, that is for sure. So I
guess I should return the favor, huh?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that'd be nice. So, what is it? September? I think we're looking at this.
Yeah, September 6th.
yeah, I think what we're going to be doing, of course, definitely share everyone out. There's going to be giveaways, some currency giveaways. I know when I had my 1,000 subscribers, I was giving out Morgan dollars, out, because I'm a Morgan lover as much as currency too, by the way. But yeah, so when I was having that party, I was kind of giving quite a bit of things out, to a lot of the, channel members and, other people out there. But it was actually a pretty hell of a party. It was not an all-nighter, but it was a good
pretty
party.
Good one.
Yeah. So, we're going to get ready for that. Before we get to the
currency, it was brought to my attention last week. At the end of the stream, I forgot to do the goal. So I want to draw last week's goal. So if everyone can put in pound goal, and as we go along, then we'll get that one out, and then I'll do at the end of this stream, I'll do both goals. But I wanted to get it out there. I'll be doing 2 today because I screwed up last week. Forgot to give it out.
We kind of forgot last week, I guess, I don't know why. I guess maybe we were just looking.
Well, we were just told we were a soup freaking sandwich last week.
I know.
But it was fun.
Yeah. So, yeah, just everybody that's in here now, just kind of hit that little...
Yeah, so get that # goal in there. We'll get you entered in as we go on. But before that...
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Start looking at the currency here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hang on. Alrighty. Blow myself up. Okay, so I want to start off. Now, we know that Cuba used to be a territory of Spain. And I've had this one out before for another stream, but this one is a 1896. Let me take it out of its holder here, so I can get a good look at it with you. No glare. Now this was printed by the American Banknote Company as well. It shows the ox cart out there in the fields with the harvesting of the sugar cane. But like I said, it was the El Banco Español de la Isla de Cuba, the Bank of Spain of the island of Cuba.
Oh, I didn't even know you could read Spanish.
I can read like the second grade level Spanish.
I hear you.
And both of my college courses, I got a C in the Spanish.
Yeah, well, I could probably read El, da Cuba, but other than El Español, maybe, but Banco, yeah, El Banco de la Español. Put it all together. We're getting tongue-tied over here, but that's pretty good.
So these were printed by the American Banknote Company as well, so you're going to see a lot of similarities between the obsolete currency of our country, U.S.
Absolutely. Lola Davis, good morning. Mike Pepsi, what's going on? Everybody else.
Yes.
LJP, I think, came in before. Hello. And going back to these notes here, yeah, a lot of these notes, first of all, they're really beautiful notes, actually. And there's just a lot of color. I think like we've had back in the 1800s, Today, there's not too much color on any of the currency that we have, but now this is a newer currency. What year is this?
1896.
Oh, 1896. Okay, so yeah.
So, what's weird about this one, it has a perforated here. And I don't know why it's perforated, but it's tearaway.
Oh.
And on the back, it was backed by silver, you see plata.
Yeah.
Of course, you got the seal of Cuba in there in the middle. Once again, the Bank of Spain, the island of Cuba. I mean, but just the intricate details of this thing are amazing.
Yeah, so let me ask you, because obviously this note that you're holding in your hand looks pretty, really, decent. From a scale, like what sort of grade would you give this here?
I mean, I think it would get a EPQ. Because it's got some really crisp.
25, 30 maybe, or?
I'm thinking maybe in the maybe a 50. Yeah, because it's got some good color. It's not, it doesn't have any creases.
Right. So is it worth setting this currency in?
I don't know. I'll be honest. It's. I don't know what it's like for doing the foreign currency though. So.
Right. We're not talking about value part. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about because if you do send it in, there's no, unless you pick this up for like $0. And this is like, $1,000 note you're holding in your hand, ungraded, then sending it in for grading. I think it would be worth it if you didn't spend not one penny on it. But I don't know what you bought the note, but there's also the corner there, the top corner, looks like
a little bit.
Yeah, so I don't know if it will hit that 50 mark. I don't think it would, but yeah, you're the one who's holding it in your hand, so it's a little different, and then also on that left hand side. But overall, I think that the note, because of the severity of the note, I don't, the way, I don't know how many were printed on this note.
So I mean, I don't think there's too much information on how many were printed. Because like I said, excuse me, losing my voice. This was Spain. Cuba was a colony. And as we know, rules from overseas, the colonies weren't treated that good. Even, with our colonies, we revolted. And as I'll get into, during the Spanish rule, there were 3 wars with Spain. There was a 10-year war. It was called the 10-year war from 1868 to 1878. That was really the beginning of it all, the revolts. Then they had what they called the Little War from 1879 to 1880. And then the final one, what they call the Cuban War of Independence, or the Necessary War. That ran from 1895 to 1898. And one of the reasons why Cuba won their independence was because of the Spanish-American War, where we went against Spain because of the bombing of the Maine, the exploding of the Maine in Havana Harbor. And after we beat Spain, we occupied Cuba for a few years, and then we gave them their independence after they set up their own government. And then after that, there were 2 other basically military coups. There was Batista, I think it was like 1939, that just did a dictatorship, took over. And then, of course, he was such an ironclad, hateful ruler The masses rose up and replaced them with even someone worse, probably Castro. So, but most of their money in the 1850s, which we'll get across here in a moment, features heroes from those three wars: the 10-Year War, the Little War, and the Necessary War.
No. William, I'm sorry, let me just answer. No, actually, I don't. You don't have to use gloves to hold currency itself. You don't need, because it's good to feel the paper. So it's, through gloves, you're not going to feel the paper itself, the actual paper, the texture of the paper. I put on gloves when I hold the actual PMG holders, because a lot of them that I have are brand new, and I don't want my fingerprints on them. So I'm anal like that. So just to let you know, or my coins, when I do hold like a Morgan dollar, you will see me, if it's a BU, holding with gloves.
Yeah. Now, if it's something with numismatic value, I'll put gloves on. Yeah. I used to worry about bullion, but,
Yeah, bullion. Yeah, I don't think. But to hold an actual currency note like this, nah, you really don't need gloves. It's just, because it's good to feel the paper itself. Yeah, no problem. I got you. Yeah, but I do wear gloves when I actually hold any of my my actual PMG slabs, or because I just don't want my fingerprints. I hate fingerprints on things.
Yeah, as soon as he's done doing, even after you wear gloves, he's there cleaning the slabs.
I'm like, yeah, damn, somebody's fingerprints was on this guy. It's like, it's like walking into your car and all the glass around it is dirty. How do you expect to look out the glass? How do you expect to look out the window when your car is all dirty and it's like, really? No wonder you got into an accident. Clean your windows. I don't know. I get just a little anal with that, but yeah, I just you don't really need. And to be honest with you, feeling the actual paper is very important. Yeah, you just can't.
Yeah, I mean,
this is actually a really beautiful note. 100%. This note that you hold in there. And it is which other one do you have?
Yeah, I got like 3-4 more here. Now we're gonna jump all the way up to the 1950s. And these are pretty much a remainder of my notes, 57 through 59, I think. Or actually 57 and 58. 59 is when Castro took over. But most of these money feature heroes from the three wars. We're going to look at the 1957 1 peso note. And this one here is relatively small. Wish I had a regular dollar here to compare it to, but actually these are pretty much the same as American dollar, that one, the 100 I have. So you can see the difference in size. But this guy here is Jose Marte. I
know him. By the way.
Him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you met him down in Spanish Harlem, right?
Yeah. 1957, right? I mean.
Well, he lived in the 1800s, late 1800s.
Okay, so maybe maybe it's the wrong guy. Maybe it's the wrong guy.
He was basically a poet, a author. He wrote, essays and journalists. And he was really one of the people that sparked the revolutions. Here's another picture of him. And he was actually a member of the revolution. He pretty much, committed his whole life to trying to get Cuba free from Spain. He became, he got killed in battle in 1895. And because of that, he became a martyr and like a national hero. And because he became one of Spain's national heroes, they built a big area there for him, square, which is pretty much like our Washington, D.C. And
right.
That's what that is there. It was known prior to Castro taking over. Sorry about that. Prior to Castro taking over, it was called the Civic Square. After Castro took over, they renamed it the Revolutionary Square.
Wow. Okay.
But that building there in the middle is a monument to Marte.
Oh, there it is, huh? So it's still there.
Oh yeah, and they, it's a national monument for him. Now there's some buildings there which are pretty much state buildings. These state buildings, when Castro took over after the Communist Revolution, they modified them a little bit. They dedicated one to Ernesto Chavez, I think it was his name.
Yep.
He was, Ernesto Rivera. Under here, you'll see there's a quote written here beneath him, which is "Hasta la victoria siempre."
Yeah.
Towards victory always.
Oh.
Is the translation.
Well, that's the translation. What was it again?
Hasta la victoria.
Oh.
Siempre.
All right. Too bad.
Excuse me, like I said, I got a C in Spanish, so if my pronunciation's wrong, I'm sorry.
Hey. Pretty interesting.
And then, of course, we know dictators have egos. So, of course, Fidel had to do his.
Fidel Castro.
Yeah. His even lights up pretty like that.
So, yeah, Fidel Castro, I've seen, by the way, in person.
He's dead too.
No. But what? Do you know when he died?
About 2 years ago.
Okay. So, could I have seen him in person?
Yes.
I could have, yes. I actually did see him, Rob. I saw him and his daughter.
At the UN?
At the United Nations, yes. In 1991, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And I had my video camera, because I worked in the General Assembly building. And he came there. He was there with his daughter. And when they took all of the pictures of all the presidents, they didn't allow him into that room. So in that picture, you will not see Fidel Castro in there. But he was at the General Assembly in 1991. I think it was 1991. Yeah, it had to be. I was a youngster back then, but I think it was 1991. Because I was there for 7 years at the UN. But I saw him there, him and his daughter. And they allowed it.
Must have been something.
It was. I'm going to tell you, it really was. I saw the Pope. The Pope was there at the time. Also, I mean, it was a big. I mean, the United Nations, where they shut down. Anybody who's in New York City knows when they have the heads of states come to the countries here, forget about it. in New York, they shut everything down. Like, they shut it down. They just, you know, it's not just having just the president of the United States. You're talking everybody. So, yeah, it was something. So, yes, I did see him when I was at the United Nations, and it was him and his daughter.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm going to try to find that picture, and I'm going to find a couple of things. So, you know, I have my old ID from the UN expired, and you know, it was something. So, yeah, so I did get to see him, by the way.
That's amazing, man. So what I find hilarious is, you know, the egos need stroking with a dictator. So when you see the words underneath him, it says "vas bien," he did, which is "you're doing fine, Fidel." But we know those egos need stroking.
Well, don't tell that to Tony Montana from Scarface. Hello, my little friend.
So on the back, it represents the sugarcane industry. Far left here, we got the sugarcane field where the guy's harvesting sugarcane with a machete. The seal of Cuba in the middle, and then the industrial process of refining the sugarcane. And of course, this is un peso, and this bill isn't the prettiest of them all, but if you look at this, I know this is one that's in Spanish, and two it's small print, but this bill here was actually backed by gold. The translation for this is fully guaranteed with gold, foreign exchange, convertible into gold, and all other assets of the National Bank of Cuba. This note constitutes an obligation of Cuban state. So they were on the gold standard at this point. We were on it until what? 33, when they took us away from having gold. So in the 50s, if you were Cuban, you can take this in and get 1 peso's worth of gold. But this guy here was really, an inspirational leader at the time. And, that when he was killed in battle, they really took advantage of that and arced it up to make him a martyr. And people got behind the cause and rallied. Now the next note I want to share is a 5 peso note. This guy here is pretty much a very, very ruthless person. This is Maximo Gomez.
I was going to say, I don't know what type of sugar this guy's talking about, but...
Yeah, Maximo Gomez, he was ruthless. He was from the Dominican Republic, and he rose to the rank of General Isomoso, or Isomoso, and that's pretty much like our Joint Chiefs of Staff, the General of the Army. He rose to that rank for the revolution. He was brutal. I mean, he'd make Sherman look like a Boy Scout. He did scorched earth, where he just burned everything down to the ground. He would dynamite passenger trains with passengers on it. He would burn the people that were loyal to Spain, their properties and their sugar plantations to the ground. He was, raiding, torturing, killing, and not only Spanish, but, people in Cuba that supported Spain. I mean, he would brutally murder them. He was also known or what was known as the Machete War. But let me bring up a picture of him real quick. I mean, you just look at him and you know that, he knows what he's doing. He means business.
Yeah.
And he brought to know what the Spanish were more used to a formal warfare. Like, we beat the British because we didn't have a formal warfare. He introduced guerrilla warfare to the rebels. And they would do what this is known as a machete raid. And they would come in with their machetes and be a psychological warfare type thing too, because they'd be screaming, yelling, making all kinds of noise, chopping people up in front of the other soldiers with a machete. Now you see your friend get whacked with a machete, it's going to do a little bit to your mind.
Yeah.
But I mean, he was just brutal. Now, he did have some, he hated Spain beyond belief. When the Spanish-American War came out, they tried to get him to just join forces with them to help Spain win. And he was like, no, I hate Spain. No, it ain't going to happen. But, I mean, he was just brutal. They offered him to be the president in 1901 after they got their freedom. And he was like, no, I'm not into politics, man. He just refused to be the president. But like I said, he was a Dominican, because back then Dominican was ruled by Spain. And I think that had a little bit with the brutality that Queen Isabella had towards the Dominican Republic. Helped him become what he was. And once again, you see down there in the bottom, this was backed by gold as well. Now on the back, this Big Apple would love this. You got the tobacco fields.
Yeah, right up my alley.
And you got of course, the seal of Spain. But then you got Cubans rolling hand-rolled cigars. And so, I mean, you think about it, it's probably a sweatshop there. You know, all them guys sitting at tables hand-rolling cigars. But, like I said, Maximo Gomez, brutal. But, you know, if you're going to make an omelet, you got to break eggs. And so this one here is a gentleman called Carlos Manuel de Perez. He was a wealthy man from Cuba. He went to Spain, got educated, he got his law degree. He was exiled from Spain to France because how much he hated the Spaniards, and he tried to cause trouble over there. He came back to Cuba, and he is the one that started the first revolution, the 10-year war. Well, what happened is he came back to Cuba, and on October 10th, 1868, he freed all of his slaves, which was against Cuban law or Spanish law. And he told them to take up arms against the Spaniards, and that kicked off the 10-year war. Now, because they did that, he was, like I said, he owned a sugar plantation, and because of it, the Spanish burned this thing down to the ground. But before I get to that, let me show you another picture of him. But, I mean, the Spanish totally destroyed his sugar plantation and threw things to the wind, you know. And where the gears in that fell, they laid, and a tree grew up through it. Now, I'm going to do my best to pronounce this.
You've been doing good so far. Don't mess it up.
Demhagua, or Demhagwe tree. And that was because it was the Demhagwe sugar plantation. But this tree grew up through the gears, and it became a national symbol of the rebelling against Spain. Sorry about this. So, I mean, it still stands today. It's a Cuban national monument. You can just see the tree grew up through and grew around the gears there. And like I say, because of it, they hold that as a national monument to them. Now on the back, it represents the Cuban dairy industry. Personally, I think it should have been for him the sugar industry, because he was his whole family came from a sugar plantation, and of course the plantation, the Demhagwe, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that again, was his plantation, and because he freed the slaves and rallied them against Spain, they totally razed the place. They burned it down to the ground. They blew it up. They scattered the machinery all about. But this is pretty much a dedication to the Cuban dairy industry on the back of this bill. Why they chose him to do dairy, I don't know. And once again, this one was backed by gold as well. Now, this next one here, Big Apple may have tread on some ground. This guy was, because he was through New York as well. Now, this is Francisco Iguala, or Aguilera. I'm sorry, Aguilera. Francisco Aguilera. Now, he was pretty much a person that dedicated his life and his entire fortune to helping the Cubans defeat Spain. He was different positions in the army. He was a major general in the army. He was a minister of war. He held a position as vice president of the Republic. He was the commander-in-chief of the Eastern Division. And he distinguished himself as a leader by all the battles that he was in and the bravery he did. He just led by example. He took his people in the engagements and skirmishes and led them. Once again, you look at the bottom, this one here was backed by gold as well. Now, this one was made by the National Banknote Company as well. These other ones that I had were made by another company, and Cuba actually had notes in circulation from the American Banknote Company and this other company, which I can't remember what the name of the company was. This one here I really like because it's an EP66. But it's a 100 peso note. And the back of these were very plain. It just had the denomination and the seal of Cuba. Now, like I said, this guy was very wealthy. Upon the beginning of the war, he also freed all of his slaves and encouraged them to take up arms against the Spaniards in the 10-Year War. Now, he went to New York City, Big Apple stomping grounds.
There you go. That's what we're talking about.
Bring up a picture of him right there. But he went to New York City.
I swear that guy looks just like you, man.
I know. Look
Are
at
you
this
sure
one.
that's not you?
Look at this
Oh
one.
boy,
I got a
that's
monument.
you all the way, man.
I could go to Cuba and walk around and be revealed. But I couldn't find a picture of this place because it looks like the building's been taken down and turned into a parking garage. But he lived in downtown New York on 223 West 30th Street, and he lived there from 1871 until 1877 when he died of throat cancer. But the whole time he was there, he was raising money for the revolution. And like I said, I went to find a picture of him, of the place, and the address I can't find on Google Maps. And the closest thing I can find is a parking garage in that park. So I think his tenement building where he lived is long gone, 1871, but is now a parking garage. Right, so pretty much that's all I have for you with the Cuban Revolution. Let me change my camera. But a lot of interesting stuff, and I mean, when I was reading, doing this research for the Manuel Pepitas, I mean, he was brutal. And, no, I'm sorry, I mean Maximo. Maximo was brutal. Just reading how he put fear into the Spanish soldiers. It was kind of like psyops back then. He was knew that you had to psychologically weaken them in battle too. But that's pretty much all I got there for today out of the Cuban notes.
Wow, that was quite a bit. That was a lot. And again, Rob, those are real beautiful notes, right? I mean, let's just understand that having those notes. Me personally, you don't need to tell me twice. If the note is beautiful and it looks good, it's going in. Knowing that it's somewhat. Again, we protect these notes, right? It's not the value part. It's just, to me, it's more the protection of the note. That's why I like to send in my currency. But everybody has their own ways of, because sending in currency is not cheap, by the way.
No.
It's not cheap. And when you send in, just sending in one or two, it's a big number already. So,
Yeah. And definitely, you know, I think foreign currency even runs a little bit more. I've never had foreign currency graded.
yeah.
I've never done it. I'm thinking
gonna-
about sending that that pre-revolution Russian one that I had out when Dan was here.
Yeah.
But that's going to have to be in an oversized holder because that note's 11 inches long.
Wow. Which note is that? Because I totally forgot.
Hang on one sec. Let me grab it. It's just right over here.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when it comes to that stuff, I mean, for sure, I would definitely, without even questions, send in a currency like that. If it's worth, I mean, you know, if it's worth sending in, right? You know, that's one of the things. Give me 1 second, guys.
Let me put the other camera back up real quick.
Sorry, folks. I was kind of reading something. So,
But this is the note here.
yeah.
And this is pre-Bolshevik Revolution. That's Alexander the Great. Right there. There's a watermark on this I had up for when Dan was here. Let me see if I can turn this light on. I can't reach it. Oh well. But there's a watermark behind there. That is this picture of Alexander the Great. And on the back, on the front, you know, 1912. And this thing was like worth like some ungodly amount, like 12 ounces of gold or something like that. And back then, you know, gold was only like $20 an ounce, but
Yeah.
still, I mean, you think 20 ounces of gold nowadays, you know, that'd be like, holy. But it's a 500 ruble note. And like I said, it was when the Tsar still ruled. Very beautiful note, you know. I might have this one done, but, you know, that's going to be costly because it's going to need an oversized holder. It's not a standard
Yeah.
note. You know, so I got other things I need to get done right now, but
Yeah.
someday.
I you know, again, sending in stuff is it's not cheap. You know, I have currency right now that's actually with PMG already, waiting for that to come back, and I sent out 15 Morgans to NGC, waiting for that to come back. I have stacks of Morgans and all sorts of other coins. There's another stack a little further back, but yeah, it's, you know, when you set all this stuff out, I mean, it's well worth it, you know, but it's just, you know, it becomes a lot, you know.
So my order at PMG finally is in grading and encapsulation.
Oh,
So I should have that
you're
back
talking
hopefully
about
next week.
that $10 note, the one I told you.
Yeah,
Sent in.
there's that one, the aeronautes, the Buffalo, the
Yeah, the
Martha
Buffalo one.
Washington.
Right. You always ask me, you think I should send it in? Of course you should send it in.
Yeah,
Never had
No, I
Big
do.
Apple.
but no idea what I'm going to get on it, but we'll figure it out.
I think it's going to be well worth it. Trust me, at the end of the day. So, all right, where are we here now? Wow, it's almost that time. Holy smokes. And that's the go. I have a question. What is it? Is the currency a museum? I don't know.
That's a good question. I know probably if you go down to New York, and the American Banknote Company may have some type of museum down there in Manhattan.
Yeah, Carson City.
Reserve.
Because notes and coins. Yeah, Carson City has one. I don't know about notes. I don't know about notes itself, but
I wonder
does
the
it,
Bureau of Engraving and Printing might have something somewhere too.
No, there's a place out in Nevada, isn't it? Carson City out there.
Yeah, I think it's down. Carson City's near Reno, I think.
Yeah, Reno. Well, yeah, wherever they have that, it's wherever they were minting out that's an actual little museum where they made the, Carson Cities. It's an actual, if you look it up, I know they have that there. But as currency, I'm not that sure. I mean, if there's a museum, we'll try to create a museum, maybe. That's what you
George says he thinks the Smithsonian might. I mean, the Smithsonian has everything else, so
they could. I mean, but unless somebody walks in there and checks it out.
But like I said, up there in New York, I think because the American Banknote Company, it used to be National Banknote Company and American Banknote Company, and then American Banknote Company took it over, bought the other one out for the obsolete currency. I think they have something, but I'm not sure.
I don't have one in my closet. I wish I did have one.
Yeah, he does.
I mean, I got a couple of bills in my closet.
He's got the Morgan
I'm trying
Museum.
to build my museum. How about that? I'm trying to build the museum.
Hey, here's an idea for you. You make it a museum. You let school kids come to it. You make it a nonprofit charity. Then all your mortgages you buy are tax deductible.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can take all that off your taxes.
Good. Yeah. I just picked up a piece of currency. Boy, I tell you. I was talking to somebody, and I'll take up. Yeah. Barry will start. Barry, you start it out and let me know, and then we'll start doing the museum part over here. I gotta get a kickback over here just to let you know, guy.
Tribute.
All right, I was talking, and because I've always collected, coins, and I had currency, Rob, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, today, Rob, when you and I talk, we just talk currency. Yeah. And there are people in this community, even in the chat now, we just talk currency. Very rarely I talk about a mortgage, It's like, because the currency is just so like, it's just unbelievable with the currency. I mean, how do you not love currency? I mean, I tell you, it's just, I look at it. Miss Coin Crew, what is going on? Yeah, I mean, currency is just something, and I'll just quickly just show you, just to let you guys know. And see, I hate not having my gloves.
You don't have his gloves.
I don't have my gloves on, which really, it's not good. It's just not good right now, not having my gloves on.
Something about someone with your accent not wanting to leave fingerprints is a kind of a questionable.
Yeah. I got to question this, Now, just to show you guys, and I want to pull this and and I think I did a video on this here. Look at this,
beautiful,
guys. Blow me up, Rob. Blow me up, yeah. Just to show you guys. I mean, like, how do you not? All right, because I'm a little slight. There you go. How do you not love this, though, right?
I mean, it's such beautiful.
And to add, Look at this. I mean, how do you not love this though? I mean, just look at it. Red seal. Of course, I have a blue seal. But to add, and I'm going to show you guys, because I know a lot of you guys probably haven't seen this, but I'll show it to you. So, here's the note. We'll bring this down just a little lower for you guys, just to see. Get rid of this, move this back. So it's a New York Exchange charter number, serial number. Look at this.
And I found it amazing that you got the same charter number as the one in the bank, in the book. And the serial number is not too far from it either.
Yeah, we're not that far away from each other. Right? Pretty close. To New York, you know.
What grade was that one?
55 EPQ.
Beautiful note.
I mean,
the scene there is so beautiful.
it came from Stacks, actually. Yeah, I mean, like, how do you not love any of these notes, guys? How do you just not love these notes? I mean, look, I love my Morgans. I can't tell you. I love them. Here's the blue seal, guys. I mean, how do you not love any of these? I mean, you got to be crazy. You got to be smoking something. But anyway, guys, yeah, I did pick this up. The artwork is amazing. Miss Coin Crew, absolutely. Look at that artwork.
Just
National.
stunning.
I mean, it's just, and the serial number is also low on this one also. 9, you know. It's just, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you. I mean, there's just notes and notes that I have here, but, you know, and I keep collecting, guys. I was almost done with my NGC Morgan dollar set, the entire set, but what's also pulling me away is the currency. You know, it's the currency itself, and I'm like, oh man, I gotta get this note. I need it, you know. And of course, everybody knows what my goal is. My goal is that I get one note graded. That's all I need. It's just one note. I don't need 10 of them of the same shit over and over. I don't need it. I don't need all the FR numbers of 1917. I don't need that. It's the same note. It's the same, just different signatures.
Yeah, but you know, like I always say, you know, to each their own when it comes to collecting.
Oh yeah, I mean, you can collect
know.
currency however you want to collect. I mean, you want all of them, you get all of them. If you want to collect, you know, 20 Black Eagles, all the same grade, so be it. But I'm just saying, me personally, I'd rather take those. Just keep one Black Eagle and the 9 of them, get rid of them, and get the other stuff that I don't have. The stuff that's harder for me to get. That's what I'm interested in doing.
And right now,
that is hard to pick up is what I'm looking for. So,
yeah. And right now, I'm having trouble because I can't open my Stack Bowers app or my Heritage app because I got to get new struts on the car next month. So
yeah,
you know, that's going to be a note or two.
Yeah, it's
but
like,
if I open that, I'll be like a little kid. I'll be buying notes and also having to buy struts.
Yeah, there's an auction coming up in Stacks. This week, Heritage has an obsolete note current show. But I know one in Stacks of Hours. I mean, the notes are out of control. It's like, I tell you, I don't know how many days. I think it's August like the 16th, I think it is. And it's great because it's my day off. I'm here. I'm going to be like hitting that button. Yep, I'm taking that. I'm taking that. I'm taking that. And before you know it, I'm going to get clipped by my wife. She's going to put two in the back of the head because I've just went over the board on spending money. But
I mean, we're talking that auction there. You know, I think the cheapest note I've seen on that upcoming auction is $1,200.
Yeah, and I'm already in it. I'm already in it. It's just sad. It's just really sad. But you gotta love this shit. I'm like, wow. Like, how the hell do you not? You know, and guys, I'm a coin. You know, I love my numismatic. Not bullying. I collect bullying, but I'm not a bullier like that. I don't think bullying does anything for me. It's just weight. You know, if we had to run, if I had to run right now and split, I'm not even taking. What would I take? You know, monster box of American Eagles, or do I just grab all my? Do I grab all my currencies? You know, just walk out of here with this here. You know, just take.
I have 3 safes in my house, and you know they're all fireproof and floodproof.
Yeah.
And actually, I actually have 4 because I have the one that's like a big lockbox that's fireproof, and that I keep my currency binder in. It's floodproof and fireproof, but you know what? If the house burns down, you know, hopefully that stuff makes it through because they're all, you know, fire rated and flood rated. So
right. Yeah, that's one of the things. But yeah, with currency, like I said, guys, I breathe that. You know, it's like the first thing I do is wake up. What's my next one I'm getting? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, Rob, I speak to other. I'm speaking to a lot of people about, hey, this, that, you know, and trust me.
Yeah, he'll give me a call. He'll give me a call. Did you see that note on Stack Powers? I'm like, what note?
I just try to whack somebody over it, you know. But I tell you, it is fun. Currency paper.
Oh yes. You can't beat it.
You know, the history of it, of knowing, you know, yeah, and then the fact that some of these notes just, you know, 18, you know, 80, 70, like who the hell was holding this in this perfect, you know, I'm not like looking at this, I'm like, holy, where'd you keep this? Like, you know, in a Bible or something? Like, nothing happened to this, you know? It's like,
yeah.
So it's like a 64, 55. I'm like, holy smoke. Like, this is out of control. How'd you hold this over 100 years in this condition? That's.
Well, you hit it on the head. You know, Grandpop and Grandmom used to hide their money in their Bible. Grandpop died, Grandmom died. You get their Bible when you're going through it.
Yeah.
And you look in there and it's like, oh shit, look at this.
Yeah. Problem is, I don't really pick up a Bible. The Bible I pick it up, it's forget about it. It's getting burnt. I don't know. I'm getting clipped. I don't know.
I got my great grandfather's Bible. First thing I did when I inherited that Bible is I went through it page by page looking to see if there was any money hidden in it. You know.
Yeah, I tell you. Got to go through the paper. Stop breaking it up now. All right, guys, it's about that time because we are like over an hour already, and this is getting crazy. So we're about to shut down. Because, that's right.
Before we forget, because I forgot last week.
That's that, guys. If you haven't answered that, baby. Hashtag God. Let's go, baby. Hell yeah. Let's do this.
Okay, so we'll do the first one. It's going to be for that 1 cent. Hong Kong note.
Yeah, and let's just understand right now, I'm assuming that some people might have left. So make sure, guys, if you do win this God, please make sure that you are here. You are here to pick this up right now. So make sure that you are putting those thumbs up. Hit the subscribe, like button if you haven't subscribed. Hit the like button too. So let's get going, Rob.
Well, the first one is going to be for the Hong Kong 1 penny note.
Yeah.
And the second one is a grain of silver. On the back, you got this.
And again, You have to be here, guys.
Yes. And on the
You gotta
front,
be here.
you have this. If you don't like Trump, when you get it, cut it out. It's still a grain of silver.
Yeah, is that not when he was sitting there like Tony Montana? Is that Florida?
No,
Say hello to my little friend. That's it. There it is.
That's the Miami Vice one.
Oh, that's a Miami Vice. Well, it could be say hello to my little friend, but you never know. All right.
But
Rob, let's
the
get
back's
going. Let's
pretty cool.
put this.
So right now we're going for the Hong Kong note.
The Hong Kong note. You got to be here. You got to be here. You got to be here to get this right now. Hell yeah, let's go. It is George Campbell. George Campbell probably left. He probably left this guy. He probably left. I know he probably left. Let's see. He probably left. I don't think he's here. I know George Campbell. George Campbell probably left. I think he did leave.
Let me just make it all fair.
Oh, he is here. Look at this. He said, hey, thanks, guys. I thought he left. Here we go. You got to be here. I got you, Kenny. Wow. Kenny's like, oh, I'm still here. This Coin Crew said I'm still here. Everybody's just still. Jeff, see what's going on, buddy.
And let's draw for that grain of silver.
All right, the grain. Here we go for Trump. Here we go right there. Grain with Trump. Say hello to my little friend. You got to be here to win it, baby.
And
William E. William E. might have left also. Let's see. William E. Let's go. Hell yeah. Well, he just said, George, congrats. Our thumbs up that. So that means he must be here. Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to remember it's like a 30-second delay there.
That's all right. I just busted chops. I know these people here. Boom, awesome. He said, he did give a boom, awesome. You want one more, or is that it?
That's it. Just one for this week and one for last week.
Okay, guys. There you go, guys. So it's about that time. It's way about that time, guys. So, guys, like we do say, don't ready for sometime in September. We are going to be doing that 100K party, 1,000K party.
Yeah. 1,000 sub, not 1,000K.
1,000K
is like a million.
Okay, 1,000K. You're right. 1,000K. Yes. 1K.
I think a million subscribers.
Is it? I'll take it. All right, guys. We are out of here. And like I tell everybody, Lisa Anderson, we are out of here. Hello to you and say goodbye to you, Lisa. We are out of here, guys. Guys, take care. Next week, Friday, we'll be here at 11. Don't forget, get ready and say hello to my little friend, baby. Hell
Keep on stacking, everyone.
Imagine no more rewarding a career. And any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile, I think can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction. I served in the United States Navy.